Okay, rulers, settle down. Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to get singles for all your Force of Will and other trading card games, as well as these amazing patrons. Special thanks to guest lecturer member Vite Ramen. Thank you for your support. Class is in session.
Hey there, rulers. Welcome back after a long week of Force of Will. We know you probably have some questions on that assignment you got last week, so you've come to the right place. It's Office Hours, your favorite ever live Force of Will podcast, featuring myself, DMO73, as always, and I am joined by the beautiful Mike Grants.
Why were you saying last week's assignment? Do we not have just class like every other day? Do we have like one class per week?
Yeah, just once per week.
All right, cool.
And also, we are joined by the wonderful Svetlana of Games and
Yay!
because today we got some stuff to talk about. Before we get into that, though, we want to talk about some of the ways that you can support the channel, especially including pre-orders for the next set. Set 2.5 and Set 3 are currently available still through Odyssey Games. You can check the link down below to still get that pre-order. And I think they actually still have some pre-release kits for Set 3, so just saying, those go quickly and they're always a ton of fun, so consider picking those up. And then if you feel like supporting the channel in other ways, you can consider clicking that join button to join us as a member. Help us to get into that Lumia emote. As you can see, we're at 83 out of 100 members to try to get Lumia unlocked as our next emote. So if you consider supporting us that way, we appreciate it. But other than that, I sound like I'm talking into an empty coffee can. Well, you know what? I can fix that
By getting a bigger coffee can.
by changing what microphone my system is trying to use. Thanks for letting me know. Yep, it's trying to use my camera microphone
instead of my actual microphone, so that should sound a lot better. With that all out of the way, we got a lot to talk about. We have GPs announced, including a GP later this week, which you can pre-register for right now. There's a link down below. Let me know if that audio sounds a little bit better. Svetlana, I'm just going to get out of the way, and I just want you to walk us through kind of what's going on with this event this weekend, as well as kind of GPs moving forward, and then we'll talk about some other things. Nope, we can't hear you now. There we go. We're good.
Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
we can hear you now.
Okay, good. So, well, the $1,000 cash tournament was turned into a Grand Prix as well. So people can get some amazing, beautiful promos and additional invite to the Worlds as well. Then there is going to be one next month, and another one following months too is online Grand Prix.
So there's one in May. There's one in May as well.
Hold on 1 second. Is there sound? Lannon said there's no sound.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Yep, just fine. So there's an event in May as well. I know the website showed us April and June and July.
It's June and July.
Okay, June and July. Okay, great. All good. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Next month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will skip dates. Next
May
month.
May doesn't exist. We just go straight into June.
We skip May
Nothing
completely.
important happening that month anyway. So
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we are working also to maybe even make a slightly better price support there too, but certain things are still in the works. But
great.
Yeah, so companies send us amazing promo. I don't know if you want me to show.
Yeah, we'll get to those in a second. I do want to work through a few things because we want to see them. We're gonna see the high res images real quick, and then we want to see them in person. So I'll bump up. Thank you, chat, for letting me know. I'll bump up Svetlana a little bit, so we can hear her a little bit better as well. We could hear you. We're a little quiet, so I'll bump you up. Not a big deal. So it's $30 or $35 to enter. I think it's 35. Yes, 35 to enter. It is a webcam Discord tournament. The first one is this Saturday, starting at 12 p.m. Central. It is open to the U.S. and Canada, but Canada might have to pay more for their promos.
Promos is shipping.
Okay, the shipping is an issue for promos for them.
International shipping, sadly, is very expensive, and it has to be shipped that can be tracked too.
Sure.
Because like mail right now it's terrible in the United States, and lots of packages getting lost and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And like ship international, that's my only issue. If people, maybe some groups that want to play, like, couple of people at the same time, we can send them all like to one place, then they can send save money on the shipping cost and don't have to pay more.
So if people are from Canada and are like a group or something wanting to get together and play, they can still play and they can still earn their promos. They just need to kind of reach out to you personally to work out like extra cost for shipping or what that's going to look like, right? Okay, great. Just wanted to be very clear because we got some Canadian people who watch the stream and I know they're very excited. So I want to reach out to Svetlana. The other question that we've got a lot from players as of recently in some of the communities is, if a player doesn't necessarily have a deck ready, or if a player doesn't feel confident, or maybe doesn't have time to play the whole day, is this a tournament where players can pay to enter, knowing that they're going to drop after round 1 just to get promos? Because these promos are so amazing and they don't want to miss out. Oh, her audio keeps cutting out.
It's like
There
a
we go.
GP
Yeah.
too, like I wish we can just send them promos,
Sure.
to people, but then it also will devalue it, as a GP promos too, and we not to sell promos.
So for this time, it's kind of a only sign up if you intend to participate kind of event.
Yes, like
Okay.
I mean, of course, whatever happens throughout the day, if people, I don't know, they have to leave or the matches not go well, they're not winning and the drop and all that stuff, it's just regular Grand Prix, people had before, show up, play round 1, drop, and be done with it.
Sure.
It's not just like, hey, I'm paying $35, I'm getting the promos, and
Yeah, and we just wanted to cover that to make sure people were aware as we go into this. Again, to go over the pricing for top 8, it's 400 to first, 200 to second, 100 to each first and second, and 100 each to third and fourth, and then 50 each to 5th through 8th, right? Right around there. Somewhere around that. It adds up to 1,000.
Yes, it will. Yes, 1,000.
You do the math in the comments.
You do the math in the comments. Get in the comments doing the math for us. But also, we do want to show these wonderful promos. Again, I'm going to pull them up in high res here. These are the 6 entry participation promos. The first one being Mikage Rhea. Which it's so good. It's just so good. For a card that needs to be banned, the promo is beautiful, and I love it so much. The second participation promo, also a fan favorite, is Sylvia, Minion of Lapis, looking sick with the entire crew, except for Lapis, who's in the back saying, like, I don't want to be part of this picture. But I love him. He's great. This card is amazing. We also have seen the Athena, which looks fantastic, from AO1, wonderful looking card. And then we also have the Mariabella, from AO3 or AO2, also a phenomenal looking card, just crazy beautiful artwork on these. And then I believe the last one for we have Shakti as a participation promo as well. This is the image of it in Spanish. That's just what I have the image of because I found it in high res. But also a beautiful. And then I believe the last of the participation promos is the Lenneth, which is the Marvel rare from AO4. Also looking fantastic. For those of you who aren't aware, we've seen them in the Spain listing. That Spain, we don't know if these are coming to the US. Maybe Svetlana, you can talk about it. I'm putting the images up anyway. Spain also showed images of Don't Cheat as a participation promo, as well as Black Moon Ray alt art as a participation promo. We don't know where these are coming from. They're not listed on Svetlana's event, maybe for future events. So I'm not going to let Svetlana can hold her secrets as she wants. But just wanted to show you guys these pieces of artwork because they are absolutely gorgeous. And I just wanted to speak to the effort that iSpy is doing right now on these entry promos. Just like, oof, so good.
Sigmund did not have to go that hard on that Sylvia promo,
but he did. But he did for us. And then top 16 are getting this Light of Raisin Revive. Once again, an absolutely gorgeous promo. And then top 8, we have everyone's favorite waifu in the silver and gold silver and gold Uber style for 0. So this is the silver ruler side, and then the J ruler side is the gold. Looking snazzy. So, but that's high-res images. You guys want to see what they look like in real life, and thankfully, Svetlana's got that. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on Svetlana. Svetlana, why don't you go ahead and walk us through some of these promos? There's Rhea.
This is the best one. Can you see
That,
like that?
yeah, we
or-
can see it pretty well. That is textured. That
Yes,
is...
it's textured and
I love that the hair goes over the text. That's really cute. I love that.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
I love the color combination. It's like most beautiful
Yeah.
art, like with all the
Wow.
pink and blue, and it's just absolute.
That's very well
stunning.
done. That's very well
Yeah,
done.
so- And then we have
Sylvia, the Sigmund artwork.
Oh,
Jeez Louise. Sylvia with Allosaurus and Blazer and Lapis all hanging out.
such
Just
a cool little artwork.
It's
I
so
really,
good.
really love the framing of it, and just Sigma went so hard on this one.
yeah, for sure. This is sick. That's great. Textured foils for the text for the
people gonna be really dividing which one is favorite because this art is absolutely.
yeah. There's Athena.
This
Yep.
one is not textured, sadly.
Oh,
but
the Athena's not textured,
Oh.
Yes.
but still
I mean,
beautiful.
I mean, if they had to texture it somewhere, it would definitely be around the
Yeah,
the
okay.
wings on the ears. Anyway,
Yeah, for sure. That looks great. And there's our Mariabella.
She's
That
also
one's cute.
very textured. She's very, very pretty.
Yeah, that one's also. Is that one textured as well? Yeah, I can see it. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Textured. I'm trying to do like different.
Yeah. No, I
textures
appreciate
with
it.
the shine on it.
That's
and
beautiful. And then there's our Shakti. I'm
Shakti.
so pumped about the Shakti promo. Like,
stunning.
I love.
Shakti's been a $30 card for way too long, despite being unplayable. So this is really nice to have.
Well,
Yeah, she's a wonderful card.
they same good price. They are beautiful, and not that many of them around.
And then and there's the
Right.
Lenneth. Oh, the Lenneth is so good.
The stance, I would say thank you if I was
Yeah.
under that.
The
shoe.
Lenneth
Anyway.
is so good.
this
And
is
then the
it.
Raisin Revive.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Wow. I know it's grainy for you guys, but geez Louise, those look so good. Ugh. And I mean, it's also evidence again that like I Spy has the ability to produce textures, texture foils.
Do you have the zero?
special then.
Yeah.
And I mean they really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
with all the
Yeah, for
work
sure.
And how much and what we give. Also, it's very interesting that some cards will still be in rotation for another year after this, which is awesome. And we gain also beautiful, extremely good collectible work too here, like collectible pieces that I think even after rotation they will still be very desirable.
Don't
Zero will be in after rotation.
I
we will have
the
like,
Lenneth is
Right?
not still in. None of those cards will survive rotation. They're all Alice Origins cards.
That's okay. You can just play them in Conqueror.
Yeah. Lenneth was one of the Marvel rares from AO4.
oh,
Still wonderful cards. Still absolutely playable for a long time, and they're still great in like Conqueror and Genesis and Epic Stories. Like these are 100% some amazing promos. I know that's like this is one of those seasons where we're coming off of last GP season. We had Svetlana's frozen, but it's okay. We'll keep talking.
It's okay.
Your camera's frozen. Just turn your camera off and back on, and you should be fine. Like last season's promos were very excited. People were very excited about it because it was the DBV cards that we didn't ever get. And sure, there were certain people who were like, I didn't really like the Uber texturing of it. Ubers aren't for everybody. I get it, but people were very. And Jeremy, but people were still very excited about it because like they were cards that they maybe didn't have a chance to get, right? Like we had people playing their DBV Ubers in the decks they were trying to bring to that tournament, like they knew because right. This is great for me, and because these are all cards that aren't super old, were able to be gotten, but newer players might still be struggling a little bit to obtain. but
Even
also
multipliers are probably
that,
definitely to obtain
but
these.
also they are so different. Like the artwork is so different that you're like, yep, this is the same kind of feel as like old GP promos where like I want that alt art. I want that alt art like
I
super
have
bad.
so many alt art souls from GP. I think it was Rhode Island. I'm just swimming in mono white at this point. It's great.
Yeah. No, these are I Spy absolutely knocked it out of the park with these. Do you, Svetlana, do you know, or can you not tell us, and feel free to say you can't tell us, if the US will be getting those Don't Cheat and Black Moon Rays at maybe a future event? She does know.
No, I do not.
She doesn't know.
I
Okay.
do not know. I will have, honestly, they were surprised to me that they even exist. Like I didn't even like even our promos. I didn't know what they are gonna be.
Yeah.
Like I ask, after they say we will be sending them, and I ask like, what are the promos? I'm curious. I mean, like since you're sending, I want to know what they are.
And then they
They're
just
like,
show
yeah,
up.
we'll let you know. Let me ask. And then next thing I know, we come home and they already arrived. I'm like, oh my god, I freaked out.
When I Spy ships things, they ship things quick. Like,
it
whoa.
was in 2 days.
Yeah,
I was
2
like,
days.
holy
2 days
smokes,
from
this is
Japan's pretty great.
incredible.
So,
Yeah.
Cesario, this is a tournament. This is a GP, a qualifier for Worlds, happening this Saturday and Sunday. It is a webcam Discord tournament. There is a link with the information, gamesandgeekmn.com. There's a link in the description to go check out all of that stuff. $35, and you get 6 promo just for entering.
Those are nice. We just showed them.
Oh, yeah. So good. So good. Speaking of these promos, for those of you who can't participate in the tournament, which we hope all of you can, but if you can't participate, 1, we're going to be streaming it all weekend long while it's live, and 2, we are going to have a entries worth of promos to give away thanks to I Spy. I Spy is sending us one of each of those beautiful 6 entry participation promos to give away on the stream on Saturday. So if you are not playing, you definitely should be watching for your chance to earn that promo set.
Speaking of those promos, Lana, do you have the 0 on you now to show on camera, or just the promos for participation?
She's gonna go find it.
Go find it. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. You'll be right back. Okay, so Mike, you and I have to talk a little bit while she's doing this. Great.
Okay.
So let's talk about how now you and I had talked a little bit about how for the past week, maybe a little bit less than a week, we had seen this kind of like a little bit of negativity spike kind of in the community. But now, in response to that, we got GP announcements. We got not 1, not 2, but 3 online GPs. We were like, well, other games are starting to do this kind of stuff. When is FAO gonna do it? Ta-da! We have it.
Done.
Like, so Echo. I'll address the question real quick. Echo, EU and Italy and France will have their own tournaments. They haven't been announced yet, but I know that they are going to have those with invites. So there you go. It's going to be a mix of online and in person that EU is going to be able to try to experiment with. So more information will come on that for you EU people. This event for this weekend is just for the United States and Canada if you talk to Svetlana in advance. So before we see this 0 that she's about to show off, so we just got 3 GP announcements. Like, in my opinion, could have come earlier, but also was really well timed. And I think in light of everything that's been on for the past year, the fact that they're happening at all is really, really great. And also, like, these are GPs with cash associated with them. Like, can we talk about the implications for that? Like, for the longest time, Force of Will official GPs never had cash associated with it.
Yeah.
So, like, we can speculate all we want, but for players, like, this is great news. Not only about this season finally in this era of COVID, but also just like tournament approach moving forward. I don't know. Would you agree? Thoughts?
No, I agree with that. I definitely think that there's a big deal with though I think the last was it the last like live tournament we had was the Minnesota one, if I recall. I forget which one after.
Yeah. No, it's
feel like
Collinsville.
That was after.
Collinsville was after Minnesota, I think.
No,
Yep.
Collinsville first and Louisville.
Oh, okay. So Minnesota was next, second. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been literally like over 6 months since the last tournament. Obviously, we kind of had to play it off as an off season because we had to skip the year because of COVID. Couldn't have people go to Japan because oops, lockdown, haha, done. But the fact that we're able to just kind of like pick it up from where we were, like most of the time, like the fact that we have announcements at this point. Normally, the off season would stop around like January, February when GPs would be announced. Obviously, there was more uncertainty this time around, but we still got announcements for the coming 3 months. A tournament coming that people were already signing up for just turned into, hey, by the way, you can get cash and also a trip to Japan. It's just like
that is a question. That is a question that I'll circle back on with Svetlana. But yeah, I agree. Like the other thing too is like this is literally 3 GPs that the entire community can participate in, regardless of location.
This isn't something that I'm in New York, so me flying up to Minnesota, taking 2 weeks off from work, like it was something that I had to plan around, something that I had to like really, really think about. With this, it's just like, okay, cool. You set it, forget it. Set up your webcam, play it all day for $35, and you're good.
Yeah, playing pajamas, no problem. Also, I do want to point out in the chat, William Smola is a guy who lives near me and has been in and out of Forcible for a very long time. If it's the right person, yes, buddy. Cash GPs, come to my house. I'll give you a deck. It's fine. We'll get you there. So the fact that like we've been talking about how since COVID started, with everything else that's been going on, with the end of Alistair's Origins cluster and Osaka cluster, we have seen this slow and steady, continuous growth of new players coming in, new communities popping up, new people getting engaged, new champions of trying to get new people involved, every kind of bunch of stuff. Like to me, the fact that this is the season they're going to get to experience as that new community of like, oh, this game that we're just starting to get into has online events for us. Like that to me is a huge bonus.
Yeah, I do want to actually point out the fact that, who said it? Yeah, Joey Fuller was saying even when they switch back to live events, I hope they still do a few online. That'd be so cool just to have like obviously
like 1 or 2.
Like what like for those online events, just give out unpaid invites. It's like, what is the cost to having an unpaid invite other than extra table space at the event? There's no cost to do it. More tournaments, more players circulating, more money circulating in the community. It's literally nothing can go wrong except for more promos, obviously. But just keep printing the texture promos. We want more Mikage Rays.
Stephen Wells, this is the first GP with I Spy at the helm. No, all of last season was I Spy at the helm. The few that we had, and they all went really well. And Svetlana and her amazing crew, of course, actually being on the ground, boots on the ground, running it. But
specifically my crew.
Yeah, specifically. But no, this is not their first rodeo. This is their first foray into officially sanctioning online events, which is new. This is not the first Worlds with
2019 was the first with I Spy at the helm. That's true.
That's also not true. Yeah, what's Worlds 2019. So regarding that, let's go ahead and see this 0, and then we've got some questions about the actual event this Saturday that are coming into the chat. So here's our gold 0. Ooh. Oh, that looks so good.
Green, that's beautiful.
Is it good or is it fading?
It's grainy, but we can see enough of it to make me want to own it and be sad that I am not playing. And Nick, it's Charlie. It's not the first Worlds. 2019 was their first Worlds. It was the first one in Osaka, championed by I Spy. Oh, yeah, that's so good.
That Brian actually won.
That's so good.
And
so we have a couple questions that have come up in the chat that Svetlana, I'm going to direct towards you. The first question is in terms of number of invites per event. Right now, we're only going to go ahead and talk about this one because we don't want to force you into something that's not finalized potentially yet. So we're not going to ask that. But for this event, it's just one event. It's just one invite for first place. Is it correct? It's just one invite. Do we know if this is a sponsored or an unsponsored trip to Japan?
Is not.
It is not a sponsored invite. It's important.
It is a very last minute tournament.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. We just wanted to clarify,
it's
like
literally what we have people, unfortunately, sadly, only 1 week notice.
Yeah. We would definitely want to give them a little bit more notice for a paid. But I mean, an unpaid is fine. We just wanted to
But
make sure people are aware of that so they don't raise a big fuss preemptively.
so the next one is questionable.
Okay.
We're working on it. But attendance is important. Attendance for this tournament is important too. So
Yeah.
people who are on the fence, sign up. Obviously how goes, everything goes, and we will, report everything back to the company. And
Got to pump up those drum numbers. Those are rookie numbers. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
that's one of the things. That's one of the things we talked about before about things that we can do in the as members of the community, like participating in these online tournaments. Like first off, like the promos themselves, $35, right? $35. Those promos are easily worth 65 to 70, like all together, like easily worth. I think that you could move it minimum that you could move that.
Raya
So
herself
like
probably covers half of that, but whatever.
Right, yeah. Raya herself is like a $35 card. Like you're good. So regardless, like the money element of it's super worth it. The time element of it is like it's super chill because like you said, Mike, you're at your house. The event starts at noon on Central Standard Time. Like we're not gonna start streaming until like 12:30 our time, which is 11:30 your time for like the pre-show or whatever. But like that's a super late start for a competitive card game day. Super casual. Like, and also you're doing your part in telling the company like this is something that there's player interest in. Like that communicates to a good message to the company of like this is something that players support, players like, players enjoy. If the company wants to then continue supporting it, they know it's worth their time. That's a big part. Matthew Davis, can you sign up even if you can't play? It is strongly recommended that you sign up to play.
Yep.
That is the statement.
I will say at least stay for like if you're tight on time, stay for at least 2 or 3 rounds, play out some games. If you have to X3 drop, but
play.
Show up at least for a little bit. Play it out.
Register a Melkus starter deck and play in a couple rounds, and then if you got to bounce, you got to bounce. But
so just buy the cheapest deck you can. Buy the Armaki structure deck. You'll win you'll win all your Wolfgang combo matchups just because you'll bounce back their Yogg and then win the game.
It's great.
It's free wins.
So, second question is, can we talk about the rules enforcement strictness for the GP and head judge? Our head judge, I believe, is Charlie.
Oh, I love that guy.
Go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong.
Robbie.
So Robbie is head judge.
And Charlie is the judge too.
Okay.
And I mean, Charlie is amazing. Like
two judges.
We need to remember too, we did a competitive cash tournament.
Yep.
Like,
so
2 months ago, and it went very well. We had over 50 people participating. It was a very smoothly run tournament, no issues, no problems. There is a rules, like when people go sign up on Discord, there is, in order for you to enter in the tournament, you have to read all the different rules.
Yep.
People please need to remember too that you do need to ask your opponent, you need to name a number, and opponent needs to card the cards, cut a deck to that number.
Yeah, there's even rules for like instructions for making sure that your opponent gets a chance to randomize your deck. Your cards have to stay in view of the camera at all times. The players, I believe the players' hands have to be in view at all times. It's very clearly laid out. Svetlana and her crew have done very well, and the Discord server has a bunch of roles and commands built right into it for calling for judge, which immediately signals a judge to come to your room, getting an indicator of like what you need to do to get time on rounds. If you get picked for a feature match, we have things that are set up to make sure that really goes smoothly for you. Like you're in real good shape kind of regardless. So the other thing to note is too, like if you haven't already go ahead.
And I mean, obviously judges are extremely, they know what they're doing. So there is always, anybody has any questions, any issues, they were last time able to handle it. I mean, Charlie was running, man. Charlie was there and within seconds answering all the questions. So there was like no issues, no problems.
That guy knows a lot.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Robbie was there too, he was doing all the job, there was no technical issues. I mean, one unfortunate sad rule too: if your internet drops and your camera goes off, unfortunate, it is instant
Game loss. Yeah, we've had that happen a couple times. It is a game loss when your internet disconnects, so make sure that your internet is good.
Exactly, hardwired.
Yeah, hardwired. So
Yeah.
only me and my opponent can see the screen. Would suck if someone knows they can watch and reveal your hand. Well, the hope would be, Anthony, that's a good question. The hope would be that your camera angle is set up in such a way that you don't reveal your hand to your opponent. So there's that. That should eliminate that problem. The other thing is, as far as I know, each of the rooms only has room for 3 people. I think actually it might have room for 4, but it's specifically supposed to be you, it's 4 people. You, your opponent, and
3 people.
it only has room in the Discord call room for you, your opponent, and a judge. So you will know immediately if someone enters your room that's not a judge, because you'll know who the judges are and the way Discord tells you. And then, like I said, just making sure that you work to get your camera set up in such a way that you don't show your opponent your hand. So that's very easy to do. If you are looking for, like, if you say I don't have a webcam, or my computer, my laptop is my webcam and I don't want to like point my screen down, I recommend checking out just online tutorials for how to use a smartphone as a webcam on Discord. There's a bunch of free applications to do it. That's what Mike does. There are very easy ways for you to be able to set that stuff up. So just do a little bit of digging preemptively and you shouldn't have any problems. We've done it smoothly. Like Svetlana said, her event had over 50 players last time. We didn't have any issues. We had a couple of internet disconnects, but for the most part, like, things are good. And then, yeah, like, you should be good to go from there. And of course, if you have questions or any concerns, you can always ask Svetlana or ask the Facebook Force of Will Global community for help preemptively, and we will be more than willing to help you get notes on your setup to make things better.
Here's an interesting question about oh, sorry, Lana, we were talking.
I was gonna say too, like, even if people are new players too, this is also still very friendly to new people. Even though there is a difficulty to play on the camera, but still, people remember we're an amazing community. People very friendly. They're very easy to answer questions. Obviously, if you have any questions, there is a judges. So it makes it very easy. If people like on the fence, like, oh, I haven't really played. I mean, this is also a good way to participate. You at comfort of your own home, try a competitive tournament. We keep having the good showings. We also can run with the company support, or even when we have off season too, we can still continue run some more additional cash tournaments or any other ones that people can participate.
Yeah, that's the other thing to note about this too, is like the better this goes and the more the community gets involved in it, the more it shows confidence to the community and other organizers of like, oh, these are things that players want to do, which means that not only do people like Svetlana continue to host events, but maybe other stores take their stab at trying to run an online event, right? Like, the more, this is one of those like foundational building block kind of moments for like growth in the game. The other thing too is we have a lot of newer players, and some of our newer players in the Force of Will Discord server can tell you that they got started really playing in Svetlana's last cash event, and they had a blast, even though they lost a bunch. And it was a really great learning experience for them because they were getting to play against real people. This is really like, there's a lot of learning to be done here, not like as a new player, as an experienced player, as someone who wants to build the community, as someone wanting to get plugged into the community. Like, this is an event you do not want to miss, because it will meet all of those those things. Yeah, Charlie is saying, how do you expect deck checks to be handled? Charlie, why don't you answer that question in the chat, since you will be doing the deck checks? I think we'll get back to in-person CCG. I think that we're getting there. The fact that the company is already saying that the company is already getting back to saying that Worlds will be in Japan in November means that they're moving towards the idea of starting to bring events back in person based on the region. So like there's stuff happening there for sure. We just gotta do our best in the meantime to make it as possible. And I really am enjoying Mike just torment Charlie in the chat, but Charlie brought it up for himself.
Oh, Carrier Pigeon would get it there real fast.
Yeah, real.
Just transfer where Charlie lives,
Real fast.
so he just drops it in his face.
So these are great questions. If you have any other questions for Svetlana about the stuff, feel free.
Here's a question for everybody who's run online tournaments, especially Svetlana here. With regards to some people asking about, can I just lose my first 2 matches? Is that something that people have done where they just kind of take the first 2 game losses if they can't show up to the tournament at the exact right time and then play out their next round's X2?
That can happen in real life too.
Anything that can
like,
yeah.
In real life, sometimes people show up late and they lose their first match. Yep. Like we're doing this for people to have fun, to be able to connect, to learn the game, to enjoy the game. And there is lots of areas that stores are closed, people want to play, they buy. We're doing this online too because people buy the product and we want them to enjoy their cards, to able to play their cards. They build decks, and there is only so many few friends you can play and you get bored with it. And this opens up the availability to other players. We're doing this for people to enjoy the game, to continue build the communities, to support it, and provide the competitive play and additional amazing prize.
Yeah.
And company supports that too. They want you to enjoy the game you have, and they're rewarding you with the amazing promos. So we just need to go, with that viewpoint. This is tournament for people to play and enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to hit some other questions here. Dad and daughter GCG, what do you guys think are the best decks going to be in the coming GP? I think there's a few. Almerius X whoever good stuff, the deck. The deck. Almerius X someone good stuff, the deck. Mylist Moodstart burn. You'd be surprised how fast that deck can burn you to death. Some kind of Ouroboros combo deck is probably going to be there.
Wolfgang will show up.
Wolfgang will definitely show up and have viability. Again, does he make it to top tables? Who knows?
No.
And then so of the Saga cluster rulers with what support, or the Saga 1 cluster rulers, what we have in terms of current support, probably Celesta. Celesta's probably the one of the S1 rulers that can reasonably compete.
Welser as well, I would say.
Welser. So those are the ones that kind of expect. Those are the ones that I'd kind of expect. But also, like, it's the US, so like we always tell people, like, players gonna play what they want to play. So
you're gonna see a lot of Lilius.
You're gonna see a lot of Lilius. To questions for Vijeri. Yes, always you can always ask your opponent to like be very, very specific, or if you're not quite sure what a card is or what they're doing, you can ask them to like clarify, say, hey, what is this card here? Please, can you tell me? Or like, what are you doing? Can you say that again? Like, our players are very much are very friendly in this environment, and you're gonna get people who are very much maybe move a little faster than you because they're more used to it, but they can always slow down. Just like we would give you the same kind of tips at a GP in person, that same level of like respect and being able to ask your opponent things, like, you're in good hands in the Force of Will community for sure. If everyone plays Wolfgang, then Wolfgang's in the top 8. I would like to be commentating more than 5 minutes around, please.
You don't have to commentate. You just got to be like, hey, look, it happened.
Yeah, it happened.
And also, Wolfgang plays 0 counterplay to Wolfgang, so that's the easy matchup for whoever goes first.
Yeah. Any chance for spoilers next week? I don't have any connections to knowing when spoilers are going to happen.
Jimmy, come on, you just have to pull the spoilers out wherever you can. Come on.
And let me just... The next set is going to have cards. The next set's going to have cards in it. We'll find out what it has when they get there. I imagine we'll probably see spoilers end of next week / early first week of May. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. They've got 2 sets worth of stuff, like a set and a mini set worth of stuff to spoil. So who knows what they're gonna see there. Maybe I can convince them to let me have a spoil card for this Saturday. Maybe for during the stream. I'm not gonna promise anything, but I'll see what I can do.
If everybody wants to play a really good deck, just play Aramaki, drop Motoko, and call the best card in the format, and you win the game. Easy peasy. Done.
So
But
these.
Valentina control Mike.
Ooh. I'm not suicidal though, so I won't play that.
But you already have an invite, Mike. It doesn't matter.
It's true. I also can't even be there, but if I could be there, I would be dropping some garbage.
CCG Prime, that's Dan Rowland is asking you, Svetlana, he's asking you to talk sometime because he's actually opening up a store, a card shop here in Michigan, and he wants to talk to you to pick your brain as a new shop owner.
Store owner.
Yeah, so that just giving you the heads up there. We're very excited to go visit Dan's store when he gets it up and running. It's only about an hour and 20 minutes away from me.
Yeah, I love how Sundial's saying Wolfgang might be easiest to get a hold of. Yeah, all I gotta do is pick up 1 Wolfgang, 4 Shub, 4 Yogg, and 4 Umer, and then like 28 other cards that are
black.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, exactly. And then you're good. And then you're done.
That's the deck.
It builds itself.
The deck is built. There you go. 4 6 stones. 4. No, that's pricey.
No, 4 Ataraxias Moria, 4 of his stone, because that's not pricey, because it's only used in his deck, and it's garbage everywhere else. And then, like, 2 Scorched Bales, because you don't even need the magic. Why would you even need the stone?
You don't need blue.
Turn 1.
You just, it doesn't matter. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to tell the community about this event this weekend that we haven't already.
You should play in it because it's going to be very good, and there's going to be a lot of people. And the more people that show up to this tournament, the more room that iSpy is going to give for more tournaments. And if they see a lot of people in these tournaments, they'll make more events because they know that there's money involved.
Yeah.
And if there's money, that's incentive.
But it also is good to show indication to the community too, because you can say, "Hey, we had this tournament. It's an online tournament. We had X number of players, including a bunch of new players. There's another one happening in 2 months. You're new to the game. Here's the dates for it. Let's get you ready to play next time." Like, because we can speak to the success of how well this tournament was run and say, great, now we already know there's going to be 2 more of these. Let's make the next 2 even better.
And also, everybody's going to join just to get textured promos. Maybe that'll convince iSpy to put textures in sets again. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know anything. Why would I know anything? I'm just the guy who makes the fun format and also plays meme decks. I win the game. Gary
Felix, normally place your phone on a tripod. Yeah, that should work as long as you're able to use like a computer to connect to Discord to see your opponent, or use your phone as the webcam for Discord. That should work just fine. Be gentle with your judge questions. I'm still recovering.
Charlie, can you tell me how
Stop, Mike, stop. Take yourself. Look at me. Mike, look at me. No. Mike. I can't control him. I can't control him.
I pressed enter, that's just the end of the question at this point. Charlotte.
So yes, and again, as a reminder, we will be streaming the event. So if you can't, and I do know that the company enjoys hearing how many people watch the streams. I know that they take that into consideration in some things, and like just knowing how kind of successful an event was. I always pass along that information to them, and they're always very happy to hear it. So if you can't play, watch, because again, we'll be giving away some prizing. We'll be giving away 1 set of all 6 of the entry promos to a lucky winner sometime during the stream. Don't know when that giveaway is going to happen, so you're going to want to make sure to check that out. And...
Charlie, quick, how does Black Order work?
How quickly can I kick Mike Rance off of my podcast?
Not very. Apparently, I'm still here.
He's still here. Svetlana, is there anything else about this tournament that you want to let people know that we haven't already kind of talked about or showcase or anything?
People can also check in night before.
Okay.
So there is a check-in that we verify you, everything is good, like check your camera, all that stuff. And you can do that part also, so we don't get all swamped with everybody at the same time in the morning before
That's
the
good to know.
tournament.
It's good to
We
know.
just check in the night before that.
Great.
We have a couple of people open up for that. So
Awesome. That's great to hear. So even check-in is smoother this time than last time, which will be awesome. And so again, there's a link right down in the description. That's gamesandgeekmn.com. But there's a link again right down below to go get signed up for that. $35. You can enter all the way up through Thursday, I think. Maybe even up through Friday. So definitely don't want to miss it. It'll be Swiss on Saturday, Top Cut on Sunday. For the unpaid invite to Worlds in 2021. I mean, like,
Come join me.
let's go.
Come join me.
It's gonna be good.
Come join me.
Mike will play trash. Easy
Listen.
win.
Listen, for the May one, I'll play trash. Thanks, Svetlana, for telling us about the May event. I'll definitely bring some garbage.
The May event that doesn't exist, great.
The May event that doesn't exist. I'll bring some great trash to that one.
Super solid.
Invisible event.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
me
man.
myself.
Hey man, if that's what it takes for Mike Rants to top, he'll play in it.
Oh yeah. The last time I topped, I just played Yu-Gi-Oh! And shut my brain off for like 7 hours.
Yeah. So, I think that's it for us for tonight. I know we're ending a little bit early, but I'm not seeing any other questions. I'll give a couple more minutes.
Yeah, give us questions.
Yeah, if you have any questions about the GP announcements in general, the Discord tournaments, questions in regards to anything really. What is Worlds format-wise? Block. So typically, 2019 Worlds was New Frontiers for day one, and it was New Frontiers for day one and Top Cut, and then it was for day two, it was Alice Origins cluster with just Alice Origins cards, if I remember correctly. Or it might have been...
That sounds about right.
It was either that or it was New Frontiers, so like just rotating into Alice Origins stuff.
Oh, like Alice Origin 1 and then...
New Valhalla.
New Valhalla, yeah.
I don't remember exactly which one was which. But there's usually the new cards that are released for the new cluster at around that time for Worlds get used in Worlds somehow. There's been where we had a Worlds that was a draft. There's been a Worlds where we literally just played set one.
Yeah, that was my Worlds. That was fun.
There's been a Worlds where we've literally just played set one. They've been a Worlds where we did half New Frontiers, half draft. There's been all kinds of stuff that it gets somehow implemented in some way. So we don't know yet. It's bound to be exciting, whatever it is. And we'll be streaming it. I'm just, hey. What Discord is it going to be in? It's not going to be in the Ruler School Discord. There is a link to the Games and Geek Discord that you get sent when you sign up for the tournament. It is signed up in the Games and Geek Discord, like tournament Discord server that they have set up. Are they going to keep doing how Worlds has gone? The players go and get the set stamps. So we haven't gotten stamped sets since New Valhalla. Alice Origins, we didn't get anything stamped. We just got sealed boxes of the new set. We didn't even get a full play set. I think everybody got 3 boxes. But with Alice Origins 1, that was pretty much enough for a full play set. Yeah. So we don't know what they do. Participation stuff for Worlds is always well worth it. But last year's 2019 Worlds did not have a Worlds set exclusive cards. It just had the playmat, which is dope. It's hanging right above my wall. I love it. What if you make top 8 and can't play it because you work on Sunday? That's an excellent question. I think the answer to that is, unfortunately, you lose your top 8 match. I don't think there's anything.
You're getting a minimum of 8 plays cash.
Yeah, you get $50 and a top 8 0.
That's already maxing out on your value. You already made $15 minimum.
Yeah,
because the promos.
That's how math works too.
Anthony, previous worlds, the last worlds that the U.S. participated in, like the very first worlds, I think, was the last time that people got cards made after them. And it was just like a promo, or no, second worlds that U.S. participated in.
I think he's talking more what like Magic did, where the top
Get to
players
make
got
a
to,
card.
design a card.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how Snapcaster Mage got made, and a Snapcaster Mage is like, one of the most popular cards ever.
Lee from Tavern Brawlers is saying that there is no link on the web page for the Games and Geek Discord. So Svetlana, just something to update you on that we need to.
Just on the global page too.
We'll post it on the global page. Okay, so check out the post on the global page.
It was posted there. If not, we will
post it again.
I know it was there, yeah, but we bumped it, and it should be also on our Games and Geek Facebook page too.
Yep. So there you go. Let's see. Will we receive an email with instructions on joining the Discord and submitting deck lists and all that stuff? I believe a lot of those instructions are on the server.
When you go, if you go and you read, you have to read the rules, and then it will be there, and there is also option there to send you deck list.
There you go.
So you guys can go ahead and start doing that and get ahead of schedule too.
Did you all say what the start time was on Saturday? It starts at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're in the United States, that's 1 p.m. Eastern,
10 p.m. Pacific.
10 p.m. Pacific.
Mountain Time exists, I guess.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your start time. So our stream will probably start at about 12:45 Eastern Standard Time on that Saturday. And we'll be streaming both day 1 and day 2. So both days will be covered.
I mean, if for some impossible reason the tournament ends fast on Saturday, then
I mean,
everything on Saturday,
if the players choose that if the rounds go super fast and we finish, and that's usually how Force of Will events go in general.
8 Wolfgang mirrors.
So first seed just wins, right? So that's just first seed wins, right?
Yep.
Great. 8 Wolfgang mirrors. It's so terrible. Any hoozle. These are great questions. I'm trying to see if we have anything else. Doesn't seem like it. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and call it for tonight. Svetlana, thank you so much for joining us and getting us all this information and for doing the amazing work that you've done to get things set up for this and future tournaments for the GPs. We're very much looking forward to it. For the rest of you, again, check out those links down below. 1, to sign up to the tournament. 2, to pick up your product from Odyssey Games. Still has pre-release boxes for set 3 and set boxes for set 3 and set 2.5 are still available. I won't say guaranteed, but for the most part, they get there on release day. So check those out. And then again, if you liked what we did tonight and you want to consider checking out helping us get to that Lumia emote, consider clicking that join button down below and giving us the equivalent of a Twitch subscription, but here on YouTube, to get all kinds of perks like our wonderful Kiki emote that I'm sure now Mike Rants will spam in the chat now that I've talked about it.
Let's go.
So until then, though, this has been myself, DMO73, and I've been joined as always by the wonderful Mike Rants. Geeky, and the wonderful Svetlana from Games and Geek. So until next time, class dismissed. Have a good night, everybody.